Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Jai. So welcome everyone to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are continuing with Canto 3, Chapter 9, Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy, and we'll be covering text 31 today. Yes. Tata Atmani Lokecha Bhakti Yukta Samahita Drashtasi Mam Tatam Brahman Mayi Lokams Tvam Atmanaha Tata Atmani Lokecha Bhakti Yukta Samahita Drashtasi Mam Tatam Brahman Mayi Lokams Tvam Atmanaha. Please chant. Bhakti Yukta Samahitaha Drastasi Mam Tatam Brahman Mayi Lokams Tvam Atmanaha Tata Atmani Lokecha Bhakti Yukta Samahitaha Drashtasi Mam Tatam Brahman Mayi Lokams Tvam Atmanaha Tata Atmani Lokecha Bhakti Yukta Samahitaha Drashtasi Mam Tatam Brahman Mayi Lokams Tvam Atmanaha. Vaishnavis. Tata Atmani Lokecha Bhakti Yukta Samahitaha Drashtasi Mam Tatam Brahman Mayi lokam stvamatmanaha. Tata atmani lokecha. Bhakti yukta samahitaha. Drashta simam tatam brahman. Mayi lokam stvamatmanaha. Okay, let's do the word. Okay. Tata atmani lokecha. Bhakti yukta samahita. Drashta simam tatam brahman. Mayi lokam stvamatmanaha. All right, word for word. Tata, thereafter. Atmani, in yourself. Loke, in the universe. Cha, also. Bhakti yuktaha, being situated in devotional service. Samahitaha, being completely absorbed. Drashta asi, you shall see. Mam, me. Tatam, spread throughout. Brahman, O Brahma. Mayi, in me. Lokan, all the universe. Tvam, you. Atmanaha, the living entities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Brahma, when you are absorbed in devotional service in the course of your creative activities, you will see me in you and throughout the universe, and you will see that you yourself, the universe, and all the living entities are all in me. Please repeat. O Brahma,
O Brahma,
when you are absorbed in devotional service, in the course of your creative activities, you will see me in you and throughout the universe, and you will see that you yourself, the universe, and all living entities are all in me. Purport. It is cited herein by the Lord that during his daytime, Brahma would see him as Lord Sri Krishna. He would appreciate how the Lord expanded himself into all the calves during his childhood at Vrindavan. He would know how Yashoda Mai saw all the universes and planetary systems within the mouth of Krishna during his playful childhood pastimes. And he would also see that there are many millions of Brahmas during the appearance of Lord Krishna in Brahma's daytime. But all these manifestations of the Lord, appearing everywhere in his eternal transcendental forms, cannot be understood by anyone but the pure devotees, who are always engaged in devotional service to the Lord and are fully absorbed in the Lord. The high qualifications of Brahma are indicated herein. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai. So we see here that Krishna is continuing, the Lord is continuing to speak to Lord Brahma, who has just submitted prayers to him, and Krishna is giving him some reassurance here. He's saying that when you're absorbed in your service of creation, in the course of your creative activities, you will see me in you and throughout the universe, and you'll see that you yourself, the universe, and the living entities are all in me. So he's comforting him that the situation may be looking very bleak now. You're all alone, you're in the darkness, there's nothing, and you have a tremendous task to perform. But as you begin to perform that task, you're going to start to feel my presence. You're going to see me and see all the arrangements and see all the ways that I'm helping you in your service. And you're going to see that you and I are very intimately related and connected and always together. So Prabhupada's saying here that Krishna is saying that during his daytime, Brahma would see him as Lord Sri Krishna. And Prabhupada is expanding on how he's not just going to feel Krishna's presence and understand that Krishna is everywhere in the universe, but he's actually literally going to see Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. He's going to see his Vrajalila. He's going to see how he expands his boys and calves into unlimited forms of himself. And of course, Brahma is part of that pastime. And he's also going to see how Mother Yashoda sees all the universes in Krishna's mouth. And he's going to see so many different pastimes of Krishna. So he's going to have this wonderful vision. And so Krishna is saying, you can't see me so well now. Remember, because Lord Brahma was searching for his source. He was crawling down to lotus stem and trying to find out where he came from and peeking over the edge of the lotus flower to see what's out there and who's down there. And so the Lord's saying that you can't see me so well now, but as you do your service in the course of your devotional activities and your creative activities, you're going to see me, you're going to see everything about me, you're going to see me in my most intimate form. And all that's going to happen during your daytime, Prabhupada says, during his daytime. So now Lord Brahma is in darkness, and darkness is significant of ignorance. And so similarly here in this material world, it's a dark place. Right? If it wasn't for the sun, we'd just be completely enveloped in darkness. And also in the state that we're now currently in, the state of often forgetting Krishna, or most living entities are completely forgetting Krishna. At least those who are listening to this class are trying to remember Krishna and sometimes remembering Krishna. So we're starting to wake up. But for the most part, the souls in this world are in darkness. Right? Om Ajnana Timirandasya, that we're born in the darkness of ignorance. And if it wasn't for our spiritual masters shining the torchlight of knowledge, we would still be in total ignorance. And even now we're still, in so many ways in darkness of our true identity, our true relationship with Krishna. And we're still often on the bodily concept of life. So we're passing through what's sometimes called the dark night of the soul. That the soul in the material world is sleeping. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya sings, Bhaktivedanta Thakur composed the song of Lord Chaitanya singing, Jeev Jago, Gaur Chandra Bole, Kota Nidra Jayo Maya Pisha Chira Kole. So long you've been sleeping in the lap of the witch called Maya. Please chant the holy names and wake up. Realize who you are. Realize your relationship with Krishna. Understand, what you have to do is just serve Krishna and be happy in that service. So all these things will be realized in the daytime. So in the daytime, we can see. And what we're going to see in that daytime, like Brahma, is we're going to see Krishna. And so I'm going to focus here in this class a little bit on the vision of the awakened soul and seeing Krishna everywhere and seeing ourselves in Krishna and seeing Krishna in our lives or in us as well. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about this in a few different places and how he is in the living entities, and the living entities are also in him to different extents according to the three, whatever feature of the Lord we're understanding. So he's present there, he's in us, and we're in him in all three features, but to different degrees. And when I say three features, I'm talking about Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So his Brahman feature is the feature by which he expands and pervades the entire universe through his energies. So there Krishna says that Matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastitaha, that in my unmanifested form, I pervade the entire universes. And he says, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. So it's a little bit different from what he's saying here, is that the living beings are in him and he's also in them. So if all we understand is the Brahman feature, then we'll understand that we're in Krishna because we're here in this world, which is nothing but Krishna's energies. So we're situated in Krishna, but Krishna's saying, but I'm not in them. I'm aloof, because Krishna in his Bhagavan feature is aloof. If we don't know about him, then he remains, far away and performing his pastimes, and we don't have a clue about what those things are. So then as we advance a little further and we understand the localized feature of the Lord as Paramatma, then Krishna says, Sarvabhutastam Atmanam, that the yogi who meditates on Paramatma, they see Krishna, they see the Lord as Paramatma in all beings, and they also see Sarvabhutani Chatmana, all beings in him. Ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshinaha, that the yogi sees everyone everywhere with equal vision as a result of seeing Krishna in the hearts of all living beings. So that's more advanced than the Brahmavadi, or the person who has achieved only realization of the impersonal energies. Because Paramatma is also a personal form, right? The Paramatma, we don't have a picture of him in the walls. Anyways, at Soho Temple they have a picture of Paramatma as a four-handed form, and the size of the upper portion of the thumb situated within the heart. And so it's a personal form, and he is guiding the living entities. He is overseeing our activities, he's sanctioning or permitting everything that we do. He's giving us knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. And so he's personal and he's active in the lives of everyone. But then as we come to the Bhagavan stage of realizing that Krishna also exists outside of our hearts as a person, as a fully independent, free-acting person, the supreme person, and he has his abode in Vaikuntha, he has his supreme abode in Goloka, he has his associates and his pastimes and everything, which are unlimited and variegated. And so that Lord, he is in us and we are in him in a slightly different way. And so he explains that in Bhagavad Gita 9:29, where he starts off talking about how just as the person who has Paramatma realization sees everyone equally, he also sees everyone equally. Paramatma, in his Paramatma feature, he sees everyone equally. So he says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyo stinas priyaha. He says that I'm equal to all, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. And then he says, but, so this but now is going beyond Paramatma realization to Bhagavan realization. He says, but ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai te teshu chapyaham. He says that, but those who worship me with devotion, my devotees, that I am, what does he say? They are, those who render service to me in devotion, our friends are in me, and I am also a friend to them. So he literally says that mai te teshu chapyaham, that mai te means they are in me, Mai te teshu cha, and also chap yaham, that I am in them. So he's saying they are in me and I am in them. So I want to expand a little bit on this idea of Krishna being, us being in Krishna and Krishna being in us. So what does it mean to say that devotees are in Krishna? So I broke this down into 3 ways that we are in Krishna. So the first way is that, that the whole creation is Krishna's energy. So because we're in this world, whether we're in the material world or whether we're in the spiritual world, wherever we are in Krishna's energetic expansion. So we are literally physically situated in Krishna in the form of being in his energy. So we're living in Krishna. And then another way that devotees are in Krishna is that the devotee's consciousness is always absorbed in Krishna, right? That mat chitta, mat gata prana, Krishna says. So chitta means consciousness, the mind. So the mind, the heart, the consciousness is always absorbed in Krishna. And then mat gata prana, prana means our life, or our energy, our vitality, our life airs. Gata means go. And he says, he literally says, their life airs, their vitality goes to me. Or our very existence is in Krishna. Our life's energy is invested in Krishna. Everything that we do is for Krishna. And so we live for Krishna and we live in Krishna in that sense, that our consciousness is in Krishna. And then another thing is that in terms of our faith, that devotees put their faith in Krishna. Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam. He says that their faith is totally invested in me. And the word shraddha literally means that. Shrad means the heart, and dha means to hold or to place. So when we say shraddha, it means to have faith, means to place our hearts in Krishna. That's what it means to have faith in Krishna. We put our hearts in Krishna and we keep them there, we hold them there. So in all these ways that we're in Krishna, that we're living in his world, we're living in his creation, his energy. Even this body that the soul is in is Krishna's energy. So we're in this body, it's a manifestation of Krishna's energy. And then our thoughts are absorbed in Krishna, and our faith is also in Krishna. So these are just a few of many ways in which we are totally and absolutely in Krishna. And then you could say as we advance in our devotional service and our actual devotional feelings, our sentiments start to awaken, and we actually our prema, our love for Krishna awakens, then we fall in love with Krishna, and we become in love with Krishna, in a loving relationship with Krishna. So then, how is Krishna in his devotees? And this is very interesting. It kind of parallels the ways in which we are in Krishna. So just as we are situated in this body made of Krishna's energy, in this world made of Krishna's energy, Krishna is also within our bodies, right? He's also in our hearts as Paramatma. But, we were talking about how the Paramatmas also see that Krishna is in them, and the devotees see that Krishna is in them. But the way that Krishna is in the heart of those who have realized only Paramatma is different from the way Krishna is in the heart of those who have realized him as Bhagavan, as the supreme person. So, I remember asking this one time to my spiritual master, that how is it that Krishna is in everyone's heart, but then he says he enters the heart of his devotees? And is it that he kind of like jumps in at some stage in our bhakti, or what? And he says, no, it's not like that. He's actually fully in everyone's heart, except that for non-devotees or those who have only realized, Brahman or Paramatma, he's there only as Paramatma. He only manifests his Paramatma feature. He's fully there as Krishna in everyone's heart, but he only manifests himself partially in the hearts of those who are either not interested in him or not aware of his personal nature. And then as we realize that Krishna is a person and we aspire to have a loving relationship, as we start to serve him and chant his holy names and see his personal form and like that, then he begins to reciprocate by being more personally active, by being more personally present within our hearts. So in the hearts of the devotees, it's not just Paramatma, but it's actually Bhagavan Sri Krishna, in a small form in our hearts. And he's helping us in ways that he doesn't help non-devotees or, those who haven't realized or appreciated Bhagavan. So yeah, for everyone, he is, giving Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishto. He's in everyone's heart. He's giving everyone remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. But for non-devotees, he's helping them forget himself. And for devotees, he's helping us to remember him. That's one of the ways. But also says that for non-devotees, he is udasina vad asinam. He's situated as though neutral, right? Udasina means neutral. So he's neutral. If they, according to their desires and their karma, he'll give them something. He'll guide them in situations. Prabhupada writes in one purport, I think it's 5:15 or 5:14, he says that I engage people in pious activities so that they may be elevated to the heavenly planets, and I also engage people in impious activities so that they may go to hell. He's neutral. He says, if this is what you want, okay, I sanction it. According to your karma, you'll get it. Bus, So he's like, I'm detached. I'm neutral. You can make your own experience here in the material world according to your minute independence. You can use it properly or you can misuse it. That's up to you. But for devotees, Krishna doesn't want us to go to hell, and he literally acts in such a way to not let us get too deeply involved in impious activities and to encourage us to do the spiritual activities of devotion. So if devotees approach him with material desires, then Krishna says, my devotee is so foolish. They're still attached to these material things. They still want their material desires fulfilled. But I'm not so foolish. I'm not a fool. My devotee may be a fool, but I'm not a fool. So they may ask for something material, but why should I give them that? I'm not going to give them that. Instead, I will remove their material desires and I will give them my lotus feet. I'll give them shelter at my lotus feet. So Krishna only does that with devotees. He doesn't do it with others. So that's one way. And also Krishna is very active there in the heart. He's working. He says, Hridyantasto yabhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. So vidunoti, means cleaning. Just like it's the same word as the dobi wala who cleans your clothes, right? Dobi, duna, it's the same thing. And he's not just cleaning, but he's vidunoti, V is like an intensifier. He's very intensely, he's doing a maha clean. He's scrubbing. he's got his scrub brush and the heavy duty detergents, and he's cleaning our hearts. He's removing all those deep-rooted stains, those deeply rooted anarthas of lust, anger, greed, and all that. So he does that only for devotees, right? For those who have an attraction to hearing his messages, Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtanam. So that's one of the ways that Krishna is in us, and he's very actively involved in us, in his situation within our hearts. And then another way that Krishna is in his devotees is similar to the second one, Matchita Matgata Prana. Devotees are always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, and Krishna is always absorbed in thoughts of his devotees also. He's always thinking how to protect his devotees, how to maintain them. He's always reciprocating with service. He's thinking, what's the best way to reciprocate? How can I reciprocate in a way that they really feel it? They really notice that I'm reciprocating. And he's always thinking of how to repay his debt of gratitude to his devotees, right? He says to the gopis, naparaye ham, that I cannot repay your debt. And he's thinking, how can I repay the debt? And then he has to come in the form of Lord Chaitanya to repay the debt of the gopis. And then he's thinking how to repay the debt of Sudam Brahman, right? Because Sudam, he came to visit him in Dwarka, and Sudam had nothing. He had absolutely nothing to bring him. His wife said, you can't go empty-handed. You have to bring him some gift. He said, what can I bring? Our cupboards are totally empty. We have nothing in our possession. And then she says, go and beg something from the neighbors. So he goes knocking on the neighbor's door. He said, I'm going to visit Lord Krishna in Dwarka, and I want to bring him something. Can you give me something, anything, just to bring, just something as an offering? And so he manages to get some little palm full of broken rice. It's really low quality rice, not even whole grains. And then he bundles that up in a little cloth and he goes. And so Krishna eats that rice with great relish, and then he thinks, Rukmini actually stops him. He takes 3 bites and Rukmini stops him because he's like, my Lord, you're getting yourself so indebted to this devotee. And Krishna's thinking, yeah, I'm indebted to him because he gave me more than he possesses. He went above and beyond. He gave me everything that he possesses, plus something that wasn't even his. He went and borrowed something from somebody else to give me. Whereas even if I give him everything, because I possess everything, it won't be enough. Because I don't have the capacity to go and borrow something that I don't have from somebody else, because there's nothing I don't have. So there's no way, even if I give him everything, it's not as much as he gave me, because he gave me more than what he possesses. So he thought that he felt himself indebted to Sudam Brahman. And in the same way, one of Krishna's 64 transcendental qualities is that he's grateful. He's very grateful to all the service rendered by each and every one of us. So every Maha Mantra that we chant, every service that we do, even now how you're all attentively listening to Srimad Bhagavatam class, Krishna appreciates that so much, and he's grateful. He's grateful that, all of you, his dear souls, his dear eternal servants, are serving him right now and spending so much of your days serving him and dedicating so much of your lives to serving him. And he's literally thinking, how can I repay them? How can I repay them? He's thinking, I came as Lord Chaitanya to spread the holy name to every town and village. I didn't do it. And these devotees are doing what I didn't do. They're carrying on my mission. They're going out in the street. They're doing book distribution. They're doing this sacred street party. They're, doing so many things. They're doing what I didn't do. And so I'm so grateful. I'm so indebted. And I want to help them. I want to do everything I can for them to facilitate their journey, to provide for their needs, to make them happy in Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is so kind. And he's always thinking of how to do this. And he directly says that he's always thinking about his devotees in this beautiful verse from the 9th canto, when Krishna is saying, he's speaking to, he's speaking in front of Durvasa Muni, because Durvasa Muni doesn't get it. He doesn't understand the relationship between Krishna's devotees and how intimate it is. And he dared to cause harm to Krishna's devotee. So Krishna says, Sadhavo hridayam mayam, sadhunam hridayam tvaham, madanyate najananti, naham tebhyo managapi. So he says, Sadhavo hridayam mayam, which means that the devotees are always in my heart. And then he says, Sadhunam hridayam tvaham, and I am always in the heart of my devotees. Mad anyate najananti, that they, my devotees, don't think of anything but me, and naham tebhyo manag api, that I also don't know or don't think about anything except them. So it's very sweet. Krishna saying, I think about my devotees, that's it. Everything else is just managed through some agent, through the demigods, through some Vishnu form, whatever. This whole material universe, the creation, the maintenance, the annihilation, that's all done by Purusha avatars, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. But me, I'm just thinking about my devotees. That's all I think about. I don't know anything else but them. So this is another way that Krishna is in us, is that his consciousness is always absorbed in devotees. And a couple of verses previous to that, Krishna says, Sadhubir grasta hridayo bhaktir bhakta janapriya. And this word grasta hridaya, he says that my heart is grasta. In Sanskrit, it means seized. It's taken or seized or possessed or affected by, swallowed eclipsed, all these meanings of the word grasta. And he's saying, my heart is taken by my devotees. It's possessed by my devotees. My heart is swallowed by my devotees. It's affected by, it's tormented by, all these words from Sanskrit dictionary, by my devotees. I looked it up to see, actually, what do devotees do to Krishna's heart? And this is what he says. They seize it, they possess it, they eclipse it, they swallow it, they torment it. We see how Krishna's heart is tormented by Mother Yashoda, by her love, by the love of the gopis, like that. So, and then he says, not just by those who are directly linked to me, my bhaktas, but also bhakta janapriya, by anyone who is dear to my devotees. So whether we're directly dear to Krishna or we're dear to a devotee of Krishna, that's what we do to Krishna's heart. We're so near and dear to Krishna's heart. He's so affected by us. The devotees touch Krishna's heart in very deep, significant, impactful ways. And so somehow we just need to be connected to Krishna in bhakti. And that's what Krishna is saying here to Brahma, that bhakti yukta, that because of your link with me, then you're going to see me. And another way that Krishna is in his devotees is that he invests his energy in devotees, that he empowers his devotees in so many ways. And that's what he's saying here to Brahma, that Brahma is praying for the creative energies, praying for empowerment, and Krishna is saying, yes, I'm going to give you the empowerment. So similarly, Krishna empowers devotees, all of his devotees, to serve him in so many different ways, to do things that we thought were beyond our capabilities. We see that time and time again. So, yeah. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So through bhakti only can we have this very, very intimate relationship with Krishna, so that in course of time we will see Krishna. And so Brahma did his service. His service was so difficult, right? He had no support, no association, nothing, no resources at his disposal. In one sense, it was just an empty universe, and he had to do everything. There was no map, no blueprint, no manual, no Bhakta handbook, no Bhakti Shastri course. He was literally on his own there with this tremendous task, but he did it. And because of that surrender and that sacrifice and that endeavor to serve him, then he came to being able to see Krishna everywhere and to see Krishna's Vraj Leela. So, yeah, when our devotion becomes mature, then we'll also be able to see Krishna in all these ways. We can't perceive him with our material senses because he is adokshaja. We can't force him to appear before us because he's superior to us, but when he's pleased with our service, then he will manifest himself. So, Rupa Goswami says, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved graham indriyai, that Krishna cannot be perceived with our material senses because he is transcendental. Everything about him is transcendental. But sevan muke hi jivado, when we turn our face to him in service, sevan muke, and serve him beginning with the tongue, with the jiva. Jiva ado means beginning with the tongue. What does the tongue do? The tongue chants the holy names and also tastes Krishna Prasad. So we start by chanting Hare Krishna, by speaking about Krishna, telling others about Krishna, taking Krishna Prasadam, and then all the other senses follow in service. And then from our service, then what happens is Swayam Eva Sparatyada, that Krishna himself, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam, reveals himself. Spurti means he displays himself, he manifests himself, he illuminates himself and the path to reach him. And we can also see ourselves in relationship with Krishna. So, yeah, we have all these wonderful things to look forward to. So this verse applies just as much to us as it does to Brahma. And so going back to the translation, we could say, he's saying, O Brahma, when you are absorbed in devotional service in the course of your creative activities, So we could say, we could take it also to mean, oh, devotees. Krishna is speaking to all of us. Oh, my dear devotees, when you are absorbed in devotional service. So we need to get really absorbed. When we're absorbed in our devotional service, then in the course of those devotional activities, we will see, Krishna is saying, you will see me in you. So we will see Krishna in us. We'll see him in the universe. We'll see him everywhere. We'll see that there's nothing but Krishna everywhere. We'll see all the arrangements he's making in our lives. We'll see his personal hand in our lives, in everything that we do. We'll see how he's helping us so much. And we'll also see that we ourselves are situated in him, and that everyone is situated in him, and that everything is wonderful, that Krishna's he's orchestrating everything, all the little details of our lives. And this is what it means to see the truth, because this is reality. The actual reality is that Krishna's omnipresent. He's everywhere. He's involved in our lives. He's very actively involved in our lives. And this is how the great souls see the world. Jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. That we are inseparable from Krishna. We're in him in every respect. He is in us in every respect. We're so intimately united with him that there's no possibility of ever being separated from him. And it's only an illusion that we think that we're separate from him, that we have any independent existence from him. We're just totally together with Krishna at all times. Even in our darkest moments of ignorance, Krishna is there. And we are in Krishna. So, yeah, that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4:35, the verse after Jnaninas tattvadarshana. What is that tattvadarshana? What does the jnani see, the person in knowledge, in true knowledge, see when they see the truth? They see that all beings are but a part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine, that we are Krishna's. And being a part of the Supreme, being a part of Krishna, means also being a part of his pastimes in the ultimate issue, that we all have a part to play in Krishna's mission in this world and in Krishna's eternal Leela, right? That when those Nitya Siddhas, like the six Goswamis, like our Acharyas, when they come to this world, they engage in the mission of the Lord, in destroying the demonic mentality by their convincing arguments and preaching, by delivering the pious, by finding those ripe fruits out there and bringing them to Krishna consciousness, by reestablishing the principles of religion, by explaining the Shastras, by studying and teaching and living the Shastras, setting an example of how to be a devotee. So in this world, we work hard to fulfill the mission of the Lord, and then by doing so, then we become reinstated in Krishna's eternal pastimes in the spiritual world. So these are all the wonderful ways in which this verse applies to Lord Brahma and also to us, and it gives us a lot of encouragement to just keep going in devotional service, even though it may look dark all around us, right? And we look around, yesterday we went to London and Harinam, we look around, we see a lot of darkness, a lot of ignorance. The modes are very intense. But if we just remember Krishna's instructions to Lord Brahma, then we're going to see, actually we'll see that everything is illuminated, and because we're going to see Krishna's presence everywhere. And wherever there is Krishna, Krishna's like the sun, and he drives away all the darkness. So I'll stop there and leave a little bit of time for questions or comments. Thank you very much. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. You already mentioned briefly one point that how Sudama, he gave everything and more, and Krishna reciprocates. I was always wondering one thing when Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye aptamam prapadanti, as you surrender, I respond accordingly. So that means it's up to us, not up to him. It's sometimes very hard, like he's more intelligent, he knows more, we are ignorant, so we don't surrender. So that means you have to make this endeavor. It's very hard. So that means, in one sense, depends on us, not on Krishna. Yeah. Like almost like you press the button and then comes exactly as you So this kind of hard thing. Also in relation to Guru, sometimes, in my experience also, is like he knows better than me. He's more advanced. I don't, so I'm sometimes cold or distant, or I just don't communicate. But he should step out and then break this.
Yeah.
So it means all on me. So if it's up to us, then God's sake, he's very hard. More.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That Prabhupada said that when we take one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 10 steps towards us, but we have to take the first step. So we have to take the first step. And also, yeah, in relation to Guru, we have to approach, right? Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual. We have to take those steps. Prapadyante literally means forward steps, right? Pra means progressive and pad means feet. So it literally means we need to, prapadyante, to surrender, means that we need to take positive steps forward towards Guru, towards Krishna. And yeah, one thing that my spiritual master once said is that he doesn't write unsolicited emails. In other words, if his disciples don't write to him, he doesn't write to them. But as soon as someone writes to him, he'll immediately reply. So we need to be proactive in the relationship with Guru, relationship with Krishna, and then they're fully ready to reciprocate. Always ready to reciprocate with so much mercy. Yes?
A lot of focus on devotees. I wondered about the non-devotees. How does Krishna prepare them to become devotees?
By the school of hard knocks. Yeah, that's why this world is a place of suffering. It's Krishna's mercy. Because we're thinking that we're going to enjoy independently from Krishna. And Krishna's going to show us time and time again that you're not going to enjoy that, you're not going to enjoy that way, you're not going to enjoy this way, you're not going to enjoy anything independently from me. You're only going to enjoy with me. Right?
Okay, if you don't.
So he brings us. He teaches us that everywhere you turn, you're going to be frustrated. So turn to me, right? Sevan mukhe. Turn your bahir. We're now bahir mukha. We need to become sevan mukha. We need to turn the face. We're looking away from Krishna. We need to look towards Krishna and serve him. And so the world teaches, that's how Krishna brings non-devotees to him, is by teaching them that the only way that you can be happy is by serving me. And also Krishna empowers the devotees to go out. So Prabhupada says the devotees are more merciful than Krishna. That Krishna won't take the first step. He's waiting for us to take the first step, but he'll induce his devotees to take many steps, right? The devotees are running after the conditioned souls. Excuse me, sir. Just look at this book, right? The Harinam is running, here and there, dancing down the street, trying to get people to wake up.
Yeah, and if you are actually trying to, what they say, endeavoring, or you're in the practice, but you don't understand much of it, and you don't seem to, what shall I say, not only understand, but you're not fully engaged, as they say a devotee should be. Does Krishna help you to get there? How do you progress?
Yeah, if you're doing service, then Krishna's going to help. Krishna's going to be actively involved. Yeah, and he gives understanding, right? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam britipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. That those who are constantly engaging in serving me with love, so we're trying to serve Krishna, we're trying to muster up some love, we're trying to muster up some devotion. We don't have it yet, but we're trying very hard. We're aspiring for that. Yeah. And then Krishna sees. And then dadami buddhi, he gives us the understanding, he gives us the realization, he gives us the intelligence, so that we can understand why we're doing it. We can understand him. We can understand the process. We can understand the next step that we need to take.
Okay,
he helps us.
So if you have the love like Sudama did,
mm-hmm.
and he begged to get something for Krishna, to show his love. What about if you are walking in the park, perhaps, not necessarily the park, but in the woods, and you see a beautiful flower, and you want you're so in love with Krishna, you think Krishna would be really pleased with that flower. Would that be counted as a sincere love, or?
Yeah, that would be counted as devotional service.
Thank you. Haribol.
You're remembering Krishna, that's a service. You're offering him something, that's a service. He likes flowers, you're pleasing him, so he's happy. And he's going to reciprocate.
But there's also a feeling of stealing. So.
Well, you said you're thinking Krishna would like it.
Yeah.
So you're not stealing because everything's his.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, because that happens to me a lot.
Okay, Subhadra, you had your hand up. And then Prayojana. Subhadra here in the front.
I was just reading the Bhagavatam yesterday, the third canto, because since you mentioned this, the dark night of the soul, so Vidura was asking Maitreya about why the conditioned soul comes into illusion, and he explained that it's just like a dream, like you said, the dark night. So it's like this, the conditioned life of the soul is just like a dream, and it's like him seeing a person seeing his head cut off. So it's like, it's illusion, because if your head is cut off, you won't be seeing that your head is cut off. So that's he explained our condition like this, that we're thinking that our head is cut off and we're feeling pain seeing our head cut off, but it's an illusion, because we can't see our head cut off. So it means that actually we're alive, and we just need to wake up, and then the whole bad dream will be over. Yeah. So and he said that as soon as we take to devotional service, then we immediately wake up from this dream and begin our blissful life.
Jai, thank you. Very ecstatic. Prayojana Prabhu.
It's a sort of self-advertisement, actually, for me.
What's that?
A self-advertisement. I'm going to advertise a special video that was made for Pandavasena. It was the only video I was in, actually. It was about Suradas, a composer of 15,000 songs for Krishna. And it's Kripa Moya doing the narration. And it's, if you look at the lake, there's somebody looking at the lake. And I said, it's beautiful, isn't it? And then I said, if you look at this little video, you'll see the video. And I played the part of Suradas. It's his last poem in this world, and it's called Journey to Krishna. So if you look at that, and Kripa Moya's amazing narration on that, so it'll probably answer all your questions. Journey to Krishna. And it's a very poignant
Is it on YouTube?
Poem. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the only filming I ever took part in.
Okay.
They were telling me, like, do this, do that, and it took 3 hours. But it went viral, as they said,
awesome.
during that time. And but anyway, Journey to Krishna. It will tell you the problems, but you'll never fall, only unless you turn away from me. You were saying.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so we're a little bit over time. I see devotees are getting restless and leaving, so we'll wrap it up here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,